What is up, my evolutions? I am the Wild Josie, and this is my draft analysis of Season 2 of the United Battles Association. And for those that are completely unaware, this is a league I started. I actually originally started last year. I took the PFL, rebranded it to the UBA. Unfortunately, with having so many coaches at the time, which was 15, people lost track and it kind of died. So just back in either January or February, I believe, I rebranded the league with a lot less coaches, going on to 8, and now we're here in Season 2. For those wondering about Season 1, I actually recorded none of Season 1, but overall, we finished 3rd place. Unfortunately, we lost our first playoff game. Fucking, what was it? Yeah, against someone actually nearly beat early in the season. We went against Joey or Mon 43 and the San Francisco Phil Valley, formerly known as Indianapolis Cardinal. First time we went against him in the season, we lost 1-0 because I didn't prepare for Mega Charizard. This time, we actually did worse, lost, I believe, 3-0 or 2-0, because while I did prep for Mega Charizard this time, I didn't prep for Scarf Hydreigon, and that was completely my own fault. And I blame myself for that. But we're back in Season 2. If I'm going to be honest, this draft isn't as good as my Season 1 draft. Considering in Season 1, I had Zygarde, I had Victini, had Crocodile, Mega Aggron. What's my favorite? I think my favorite was Sylvie. No, my favorite was Alola Ninetales. Yeah, the hair core, Alola Ninetales, and the mascot Beartic. But this team isn't bad. I drafted Pokemon I like and comfortable with using the draft format, and also some Pokemon I never used in the format before, so this is going to be fun. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember the order I drafted each Pokemon in, so I decided I'm just going to go through and explain the Pokemon based on the tiers. So okay, Mouth, thank you. So starting with tier 1, we have a Salamis. Now, I've actually used damn near every other dragon type in draft format so many times. With the exception of Zygarde, which I used for the first time last season. Latias, which somehow either slips my mind or always gets taken before I get the chance to use it. And Salamis. So now I'm finally getting to use Salamis for the first time, and I'm happy because it is my favorite dragon type. It has a great attack stat from 135 and 110. Base 100 speed, so I could potentially outspeed other base 100 speed Pokemon by giving it a Scarf or running Jolly. It has 2 great abilities with Intimidate and Moxie. Honestly, Moxie might overall be the better ability if you want to run a sweeper or wall breaker Salamis, but Intimidate, don't sleep on it, especially if you send the thing in against other fit Pokemon that could only be running physical type moves and lower the attack stat. So that's great. As far as move Salamis, obviously all the dragon moves like Dragon Dance, it gives Dragon Pulse, Dragon Tail, Claw, Meteor, Outrage. But it also gives some great support moves and coverage moves as well, like Aqua Tail, it gives Brick Break and Crunch. I can run Defog, I can run Earthquake, I can run Fire Blast and Flamethrower. And Roof for healing, and Stone Edge for coverage against probably Ice types. And Salamis is also going to be one of my V Pokemon, so I could run V Fly, I could run V Outrage, V Dragon Claw, V Rock Fly, Stone Edge, V Shadow Claw. If this thing got Poison Jab, I could run V Poison Jab, but sadly it doesn't. So now the fact that I haven't used Salamis before might cause me a little trouble, but I'm alright with it because, especially since just as recent as the DBL, I used the quote-unquote flying dragon in Latios, even though it's not flying type. Hopefully you don't hit My Chemical Romance. And so my other tier 1 pick, which took up one of my free slots, was Conkeldurr. Now Conkeldurr is a mod I haven't used in a very long time. I was excited to use it again. The reason for that is its abilities Guts, Sheer Force, and Iron Fist. All 3 are useful depending on the situation. Guts before if you expected someone to try to burn this thing, you could burn me and raise my attack stat. Sheer Force Life Orb Conkeldurr is not to be slept on, especially since most people attribute Sheer Force Life Orb to Feraligatr and both need those. And Iron Fist, do I need to flame up? Punch base attacks. Drain Punch. Mach Punch. Bullet Punch. Ice Punch. Fire Punch. Thunder Punch. Do I need to say more? Even though I'm sure it doesn't got all the punch moves. Now, its stats could be better, especially a special defense stat, but its HP and attack stat are nothing to joke about. Especially that 140 attack stat. So, you could maybe give it 4 attacks. Drain Punch being one of them. Give it max special defense with an Assault Vest. And run with that. It'll be hard to kill because that special defense bulk and some HP investment is going to be a really bulky Conkeldurr. And it's not the market fade. Now, this third pick, I'm really excited about. In Tier 2, I grabbed Silvally. And the reason I'm excited for it is because its ability Arcade System means I can give it any memory type I want to give it. And it could basically be any type Pokemon. And that's useful because your opponent could prep for something, and then you could not bring the mon they prep for, but instead essentially bring that type or bring any type on Silvally to counter it with any move as well. And this main move is multi-attack, which will match the type of whatever the memory is holding. So say I want to learn the graph memory. So it becomes Silvally Graph, making Silvally Graph type. It'll make multi-attack Graph type as well. And Silvally is my other viewer for the season. Now the only downside that most people find with Silvally that I honestly hate is, let me move that real quick, is the fact that it's base 95. And people say Silvally is kind of a bad mind because of it, and I don't see why, because it's not that much different from base 100 Pokemon like Mew, Victini, and Jirachi. All of the, 5 less points and all the stats. Like, I don't get the hate for it. I don't understand the hate for it. And honestly, I'm going to make people regret sleeping on Silvally and passing it up. So, my second free slot for Tier 2, we have Ferrothorn. And the reason I picked Ferrothorn is because I needed a very, very bulky defensive mind that allows me to set up hazards. So, I can set up Leech Seed, I can set up Spikes, Rocks, I can Toxic Pokemon, I can Paralyze Pokemon. I can't burn Pokemon if they doesn't get real with, but I don't mind that. I can knock off items. Oh my god, sorry, I had to sneeze real quick, I'm sorry. With this very low speed, you're most likely never going to run speed on the Ferrothorn. So Gyro Ball is an amazing move. You can run Endeavor Sets. Like, this is something I have done before. I put Endeavor on Ferrothorn, gave it Focus Sash as an item. It lived a flamethrower from an Arcanine. I used Endeavor to bring it down to 1 HP, and then on the next turn when Ferrothorn died, Arcanine's Life Orb killed it. So it is a viable option. It's 99% not recommended, but it can be used if you know how to use it right. And speaking of Arcanine, I finally get to use my Fire Doggo in League format. Chances are, I may have used it before and probably don't remember. I don't know why. But as far as I can currently remember, I've never used it. Intimidate, amazing ability, like I explained with Salamis. Flash Fire is a good ability, but it's situational. And Justified, I almost never use an Arcanine, so don't blame me there. This thing can be offensive, it can be defensive, it can be mixed. Rocky Helmet, Leftovers, Assault Vest are the 3 most popular items to run on Arcanine. Because it's base 90 HP, it can be bulky if you put it after defense. It has great attack stats. It has base 95 speed, so everything is kind of fast. Its moveset is okay. I mean, it could be better. Like, Arcanine can burn Pokemon. I could run the Ref Talk set. It could roar you out if you try to set up on it. It gives more than fun to heal. It gives great physical moves like Close Combat, Crunch, Extreme Speed, Outrage, Iron Head. But its special fight isn't that bad either because it gives double, what the fuck? Dragon Pulse, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, any of the hidden power you want to run on it. It gives overheat, but its special side is definitely a lot worse than the physical side. So you will most likely see physical moves run on this more often. That's all I gotta say. So next we have my main mascot boy, Josie. Vote absorbs is amazing ability if you can predict it right. Quick feet is a situational ability, but if you can manage to get that quick feet boost off with Jotion's base 130 speed, nothing is outspeeding it. I'm sorry, but nothing. Alpha has a great special attack for that, and a surprisingly high special defense for that as well. Base 95. You can't argue with that. Obviously, the move people are most likely going to run on this Jolteon, but Time Pass maybe. Probably Heal Bell if you don't have any other Pokemon that can use move like Heal Bell, Hyper Voice, 8 of the screens, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and if a move not recommended for some reason, but Synchronoise. That way, if someone tries to find out another electric type, or like let's say Lantern, because Lantern could potentially get Gardevoir as well, and because of that, Jolteon can't do anything. But if you run Synchronoise, it actually does a lot of damage to other electric types, especially if you give it choice specs as an item. So remember that. So going ahead, my tier 4 with Aggron. And people might be wondering, why'd you pick Aggron if you already had Ferrothorn? Well, fun fact, I actually picked Aggron before Ferrothorn. And the reason for that was we have a rule in the league that I'm very much thinking of getting rid of next season, where if you draft a Mega Pokemon, the original Pokemon become unavailable and vice versa. So, as you can see, I drafted Mega Gardevoir, which made Gardevoir, regular Gardevoir, not available to be drafted. And because I took Aggron, you couldn't draft Mega Aggron. So that's the reason I took it, because Mega Aggron, which I drafted last season, actually won MVP after going 12-5. And I didn't want anyone picking Mega Aggron using it against me. So if not, probably not going to be, if not going to hit as hard, and if probably might not be as defensive, but regular Aggron can still put in work. I'm actually able to run Assault Vest for attack from Aggron. I can run Leftovers on it now. I can run Choice Band. I can run Rock Head Smash. Okay, I can actually run Dragon Move. I can run Earthquake. I can run Avalanche, max defense. I can run Low Kick for those normal type or heavy Pokemon. I can run Outrage. I can run Power Up Punch to critical attack. Aggron's one of my favorite Pokemon. I'm glad to be using it again. Now, Skuntank, which is first tier 4 pick. The main reasons I picked the Skuntank: Defog, Toxic, Sucker Punch, Taunt. I can run off of it for it as well, but I needed the thing for those 4 moves specifically. Defog, so I wouldn't have to be forced to run on Salamis. Taunt, stop having fed up. Toxic to poison Pokemon if I don't run on Aggron. Sucker Punch for priority if they're going to attack. But I also give poison type move like Sludge Bomb, Poison Jab. It gives Play Rough as well, which I find kind of funny to fit in this typing. It can get Haze to get rid of staff. It can explode on you, so be careful about that. And I'm actually kind of moving fast because I'm running out of time on this recording, so I'm sorry. My other tier 4 pick, no, tier 5 is Floatful. And the only reason I picked Floatful is because I forgot to pick a water type early on, and I was kind of stuck. And I needed tier 5, so I just took Floatful. Which, Floatful can't be that bad. It has great attack, great speed. The main problem is that its defenses are kind of low. It gets basically almost no special attacking move. Its abilities are okay. Switch Film is great for a rain team. Water Veil causes not be burnt, which Water Veil is easily the better ability. It gives Aqua Jet priority. Like, it gives great physical move. Like, I can't say that much about it. Then my other tier 5 pick is Golurk. Obviously, Iron Fist in the Maven ability. No God of Maven ability. Never run Klutz on it. Obviously, its punch move are better. It gives Earthquake. It gives Heavy Slam, which I just found out. Hammer Arm, Ice Move, Low Kick. And it's also a spin blocker. So, no rapid spin for y'all guys. And then Mega Gardevoir. I've wanted to use Mega for a very long time. I'm glad I finally get to use it. Pixelate for great ability, makes Hyper Voice, fairy type move. I can run Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, Healing Wish. You don't get Ice Beam for some reason. And it's like Psychic or Fire Shock, Shadow, Signal Beam, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt. If I want. So I'm sorry for the rush ended, but I need to hurry before the recording cuts off. So I'm the Wild Jotion. I'll see y'all later. I'm sorry for rushing. Peace out.